Okay, welcome back to my channel. This is a practical lesson on calculating gravity at POMNATHS National School of Excellence, using the concept of, or the same idea that once Isaac Newton did. So we have to calculate gravity. What is the gravitational acceleration at POMNATHS? So that's the lesson, using pendulum. So Mr. Maima is explaining that practical lesson. So students are watching as he's doing the demonstration now. After the demonstration, the students in groups, they will be in groups, or they are already in groups, so they will do their own practical and then get the recordings.
Anytime, when you divide it by, when you take the reciprocal of any time, you get frequency. Frequency as the formula F is equal to 1 over T. And clear what? 1 over T. That's a symbol for what? Frequency. So if I say the time is 10 seconds, what is my frequency? 1 divided by 10, which is what? 0.1. And what is the unit? Hertz, or second, but to the negative 1, because the time is at the denominator. Clear what? Yes or no? So if the time is 10, then my frequency is 0.1. 1 will you take the reciprocal of the time. So 0.1. So what the essence of it is in 1,000 seconds, or you have 0.1 cycles per second. That makes sense or what? So in every second you are doing 0.1 cycles. That's clear. So that's frequency, and period is a time for one complete cycle. The term cycle, oscillation, rotation, they can be used interchangeably, but they mean the same thing. It's to go in a complete loop. Rotation, one rotation is the same as one cycle, or one yes. Okay, so if I say by the time it gets back here, that's 1 second. That's the same as the full complete second. That's the half part of the second, and that's the other half part of the second. 2 semi-seconds. And clear? Yes or no? So that's 1 cycle, 2 cycle, 3 cycle, and then you have 4. You get it? Yes or no? So that's 4 cycles. Okay, so I'm just explaining that part. Now let's go through the procedure of what you're supposed to do. Some of the things you'll be needing, the formula that you produce here is already been given there. There are 2 formulas that are given. Alright, so in this experiment there, we're trying to calculate what? As Mr. Mogun said, we're trying to calculate gravity. Gravity is always constant all throughout